There's so much FUD in the market right now. It is hard to follow what is going on. It really depends on what side of the YouTube algorithm you wake up on. Some say Bitcoin is headed to 10K and we're going straight into a 4-year bear market, while other people believe that we're in a V-shaped recovery and we're gonna hit 60K Bitcoin this month. In times like this, it is a good idea to take a break from the clickbait headlines and see what has actually changed in the markets. By the end of this video, we will have a better way to analyze the markets and have a better plan of attack for the next time something like this happens. Make sure that you like, subscribe, and watch until the very end so you don't get caught off guard again. My name is 𝗨𝗪𝘁 and I've been in crypto for nearly 10 years. On this channel, we go into deep dives about the best projects in crypto and tell you all that you need to know in the world of blockchain. The first thing I want to cover is the do's and don'ts for when markets correct like this and what to look out for going forward. As I'm sure that you've all heard, anytime that we see mania in the market, be prepared for a correction. The next thing that you often hear and are told is never panic sell. But seeing the price of Bitcoin drop from 45K to 30K nearly instantly is quite shocking. And to be honest with you, even these diamond hands got a little scared. If there's anything that we can learn from psychology, it's never a good idea to panic sell. Because with Murphy's Law, you know, that's exactly what would happen most of the time when we end up selling, and of course it's the market bottom. That's how you get wrecked. It doesn't matter if it's a bear market or just a correction, there will always be a bounce back before we see prices heading lower. So even if you look back into the big crash of 2018 in January, we saw the blow off top, but we didn't know it was a blow off top. We thought it might just be a little correction. And then of course we saw the bounce. And that's the time to make your educated decision if you want to sell that peak or if you want to hodl because you think we're headed back up. Now it's time to dive in to just how eerily similar the market cycles are with this cycle compared to the last one. With all the FUD about Elon Musk, the China FUD, billionaires getting liquidated, and so on and so on, it may feel like we're heading into bear territory. But there are two interesting things that are mirroring the past cycle. First is this correction and how crazy similar it is to the market correction in 2017. Our most recent correction to 30K was 373 days after the Bitcoin halving. Now let's look back to 2017. 372 days after the halving in 2017, we had a big dip too. As you can see, although this correction was extremely severe, at over 50%, it still follows the trend from last cycle. Not only that, but it's important to look at just who was selling and what caused this correction. Was it everybody or was it a specific group of investors? While the retail market was dumping, the whales were accumulating between 30 to 37K. If the smartest money expected Bitcoin to drop dramatically lower, do you think they would be accumulating at this stage? So what actually happened during this last correction? There are two major things to consider. The first is market conditions. Although Bitcoin was trading sideways, we saw major market hysteria in meme coins. In 2017, for the last couple of months, we saw week after week parabolic growth in both alts and Bitcoin, which eventually led to a blow off top and a severe market correction. But in this market, we have not seen week after week of parabolic growth in Bitcoin or quality alts. We have seen parabolic growth in the most ridiculous, trending on DEX tools weeks before this correction, it was only shit coins and legitimate crappy meme coins. And we all knew it was getting absolutely ridiculous. And when ridiculousness happens, it's time for a correction. Another thing that greatly influenced this correction was the extreme amount of leverage long Bitcoin positions that we had. It was more than we've ever had. This would lead into nicely to this tinfoil hat theory that actually sounds quite possible or quite feasible. I don't know if you've seen it. This guy on Reddit who tweeted about the fact that his firm in China, he couldn't say which one, was going to attempt to liquidate one of these leverage long positions. The entire thing could have been because one firm in China was pissed off at one dude and wanted to liquidate his long position and take all of his money. For a while, we will probably see the meme coins and small cap alts suffer for a bit, and we will see Bitcoin trading sideways, consolidating, while people recover from the shock of this massive price correction. But overall, I definitely do not believe, not with an ounce in my soul, that we are near a bear market. I don't think we're even close. In fact, I believe that we're just heading into the biggest bull market that we have ever seen in our entire lives. Another sign of changing times are the type of investors that are buying up this dip. As we are already aware, there are Bitcoin whales and Chinese investors buying the dip. But even people on the traditional side of finance are seeing this opportunity to buy the dip. Billionaire investor Ray Dalio even announced recently that he is invested in Bitcoin. Ray even publicly shared his fears that the US may try to put a ban on Bitcoin if it becomes too successful. And why would Ray think this? Well, just like in the 1930s, the United States decided to ban gold because it posed too much of a threat to the US dollar. Even with that FUD, he is still investing because he thinks that the risk not to is too great. The traditional finance sector is now even starting to understand DeFi and yield farming even more. Investors like Kevin O'Leary have even told us that they have put 5% of their portfolio into crypto. That is huge for a conservative, traditional investor like Kevin O'Leary. He's even partnered with a DeFi company in Vancouver to get into yield generation and lending. This example of Kevin is just one that we know about. There are tons of other really rich people investing in Bitcoin and other crypto assets. The number one underlying protocol for DeFi is Ethereum. Imagine just what will happen when everybody realizes just how potent DeFi can be. It is far more efficient than centralized finance, and as it gets refined and fine-tuned, more and more people will be able to use it. As I always say, the more it becomes grandma friendly, the more it will be adopted. Just imagine how huge Ethereum will be when the whole world switches over to DeFi. Think about that for a minute. These are just some examples of how crypto will grow over the following year. We also have big business people and celebrities, all with huge social media followings, that will help the adoption of crypto. I mean, last month, Paris Hilton even followed me. And exactly as I predicted in my previous video a few days ago, Michael Saylor and Elon Musk have teamed up to form a Bitcoin mining council that will basically focus on energy efficient Bitcoin mining in Western countries.
Exactly as I have been predicting.
This is so bullish for crypto. Despite these large corrections, Bitcoin is still the best performing asset in the world year after year, and I do not expect that to stop anytime soon, not at least until we have saturation point of Bitcoin purchases across the world, and everybody that's gonna buy Bitcoin eventually does, and Bitcoin becomes far less exciting, far less volatile, and much more stable. Look, I've been in space for a very long time, since 2012, and I have seen all kinds of volatility, hysteria, mania, corrections, bull markets, bear markets, but I don't have to tell you, you don't have to take my word for it. Take a look at this chart. You can see all the major corrections, how long they were, and after all of this, the lesson that I learned and that you should think about is Bitcoin has consistently gone up from inception to today, and I believe, and I'm confident, it is the best asset class in the world, and it is the best form of money this world has ever seen. What did you think about market reflection videos like this? Did you enjoy it? Are you still bullish on the market, or are you bearish? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy this content, make sure that you like, subscribe, and stay tuned, because I got a lot more like this coming to you.